Hi there. So we're going to talk about grade 1 oral tests today. I'm going to be using this book to play you some examples. You can get this online. It does come with a CD, I think, so if you want to practice some stuff by yourself at home, you can grab one of those. Really useful. So there's 4 different tests for grade 1, and I'll take you through each one and give a little example. So I'll play what the examiner would do in the exam, and then I'll go over it again and show you how to answer the questions and how to manage it all. The main thing to remember is not to panic. Easier said than done, I know. It's not me doing the exam, but I did do them, I promise. So I know how it feels. So the first one is a clapping test, a listening and clapping, and then telling the examiner how many beats you think are in each bar, and you'll choose either 2 beats in a bar or 3 beats in a bar. So the examiner will say, first clap in time while I play, join in as soon as you can, and give a louder clap on the strong beats. So I'll play you the tune. Here we go. So my top tip is always to think about walking or marching in time with the music, and that will give you the strong beats of the bar. So if I did that again, listen to my tap. Got the notes wrong? Okay, and then what you want to do is try and feel where the main beat is. So there should be an accented beat somewhere, and that gives you the answer. 1, 2, 1, 2. So I'll play it again, see if you can clap along with me. Okay, so that's test 1. There might be some in 3 beats in a bar, so I can show you some examples of that. So here's a 3-beat one. Here we go. So did you feel those beats? So feel free to sort of count in your head or just count without saying it out loud as you're listening through. The thing to watch out for is that the little pieces that they play you aren't that long. They don't last that long. So don't wait too long before you start clapping in time. So the next test is an echo singing test. So this is where everyone goes, oh, I don't want to do that. So it's a little bit scary, but the test lasts about 10 seconds. And they're not judging you on how amazing your voice is. It's just whether you can pitch the sounds, listen to where it gets higher and lower and those sorts of things, and the rhythms. So I'll give you some examples. I'll play what the examiner would do on the piano, and then I'll be the person singing back. So you can la, you can da, you can hum. I think la-ing is actually easier. It's easier to pitch the notes, la, 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 those sorts of things. But it's what you feel comfortable with. As long as the examiner can hear you singing different pitches, different sounds, that's the main thing. So the examiner will say, next I'd like you to sing 3 phrases as echoes. Here's the key chord and your starting note, so they'll give you the first note you have to sing. Get that stuck in your head. So here we go, they count you in 2 bars. 1, 2, 1, 2. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. Easy as that, and that's over and done with, that's it. That's the singing test. So I'll do another one. You see if you can echo sing back what I play on the piano this time. So I'll just leave a space where you have to sing. Try and sing straight away like an echo so it comes straight back. So here's the key chord and your first note. 1, 2, 1, 2. Great, well done. So the next one, the third test, is to do a little spot the difference. So the examiner's going to play you a short little tune and then they'll play it again, but they'll have changed one of the notes somewhere. And you have to just decide whether the changed note was near the beginning of the tune or near the end of the tune. That's all you have to say. So the examiner will say, now I'll play a phrase twice, but with the change to one of the notes the second time. Tell me whether the change was near the beginning or near the end. So I'll give you an example. So here's the key chord and a tonic. 1, 2, 1, 2. And now with the change, was the change near the beginning or near the end? What do you think? So did you hear that at the end it went much lower? So the first one went at the end and the second one went much lower down at the bottom at the end. So I'll give you another example. Here's this one. 1, 2, 1, 2. And now with the change, was the change near the beginning or near the end? So that one was near the beginning. It started a little bit lower. Okay, so well done having a go at that one. Then the last one, last test, is you get a whole little piece of music played to you by the examiner, and they'll ask you about where the music was loud or quiet and where the notes were smooth or detached. So if it's smooth, or detached. So detached, quite spiky, like staccato notes. Smooth would be like being slurred and very, very smooth and legato. So before the music plays, the examiner will say, listen to this piece, then I'll ask you about loud or quiet playing and about smooth or detached notes. So I'll play you the whole piece, then I'll only ask you 2 questions afterwards. Okay, so here's your piece. Excuse my squeaky dog, she's having a dream. I'm sorry if that's going to put you off. Anyway, so the questions might be, the music began loudly, did it stay loud all the way through? So I think you want to listen out as you're listening to the music the first time. What happened to the loud and the soft? Can you remember? So it was quite loud at the start, then suddenly it went softer, then it went loud again, and then suddenly softer at the end. So the answer was, did it stay loud all the way through? No, it didn't. They might also ask you about the changes. So they might ask you, did the changes from loud to quiet playing happen suddenly or gradually? So when we were playing, it was quite sudden, wasn't it? So suddenly changing from loud to quiet or quiet to loud. And then they'll ask you about the smooth or detached notes. So it says here, were the quieter phrases played with smooth or detached notes? So they were smooth, weren't they, those ones? The loud ones were quite spiky and detached, but the quieter phrases were definitely smoother. So I'll do another one of those, I'll do another example. So I'll play the tune and then I'll ask you just 2 questions. I'll leave a gap for you to answer and then I'll tell you the answers afterwards. Here we go. Where was the quietest part of the music? And at the beginning, were the notes smooth or detached? So the answers, the quietest part of the music was right in the middle. So the first section was really loud, then it changed to quiet in the middle. And the next question, at the beginning, were the notes smooth or detached? They were detached, spiky ones. And that's all you have to do. So although that's taken me quite a while to go through them, your oral tests only take a few minutes because you only do 1 example or 1 question from each of those 4 sections. So it's your clapping and answering whether it's in 2 beats in a bar or 3 beats in a bar. Then it's your echo singing, those 3 little tunes. Then it's the spot the difference one, was the change near the beginning or near the end. And then the last one is listening to a piece of music and trying to identify in the music, without looking at it, but just by hearing, where was the loud and quiet playing and where was the smooth and the detached notes. All right, happy practicing.